Hello student. Today we are going to discuss about the unit third, and the topic is environmental management. The concept of environmental management is generally related with environmental model. Environmental management is related to the rational adjustment of man with nature involving exploitation and utilization of natural resources without disturbing the ecological balance and ecosystem equilibrium. Priority sectors. First one is pollution control. The role of individual is preventing pollution is of prime importance. Each individual should change lifestyle in a such way as to reduce environmental pollution. It can be done by following suggestions. Reduce dependency on fossil fuel. These fossil fuels are coal and oil. Then use renewable energy resources. The renewable energy resources are solar energy, wind energy, hydel power, and so on. Save electricity by not wasting it. Use a mass transport system, bicycle, or go on foot. Decrease the use of automobiles. Use organic manure instead of chemical fertilizers. Use less hazardous chemicals. Minimize the use of detergent for various purposes. Check pollution, check population growth so that demand of materials will be under control. Then another priority sector is power and mineral resources. Energy is defined as the capacity to do work. Energy consumption of a nation is generally considered as an index of its development. Many scholars studied living and physical environment through the point of view of its utilization to man. The study of energy has begun with sunlight, converting it by green plants into the chemical energy for organic compounds, and then the transfer of this energy through food chains to animals. Energy is the source of human needs for industry, transportation, agriculture, and domestic activities. The coal, mineral oil, natural gas are the fossil fuels and are known as non-renewable resources, while solar energy, hydel power, wind energy, etc. are non are renewable resources and also known as non-conventional energy resources. Growing energy needs. The energy utilization of a human population is being increased rapidly, so it requires exploitation of most energy sources. There is increased in level of consumptions of energy for industry, agriculture, transportation, mining, etc. The fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas, which at present are supplying about 95% of the commercial energy of the world resources and are not going to last for many more years. The energy resources are used to produce power or energy to run machines and automobiles. Non-conventional energy resources can be generated continuously in nature and are inexhaustible. For example, solar energy, wind energy, hydropower, tidal energy, biomass energy, biofuel energy, geothermal energy, etc. are also known as renewable resources. Solar energy is a naturally renewable resource of energy. All the life on the earth ultimately derives its energy requirement from the sun. The nuclear fusion reaction occurring inside the sun release enormous quantities of energy in the form of heat and light. The solar energy received by the uh, near Earth's space is approximately 1.5 kilojoules per second per square meter, known as solar constant. If we are able to harness 0.1%, it will meet all the energy demand of an entire population. Traditionally, we have been using solar energy for many purposes. Now, several techniques are used for harnessing solar energy. There are two main ways for harvesting solar energy. These are solar heat collector and solar cells. Then the merits and demerits of solar are first, the merits of solar energy are solar energy is an inexhaustible source of energy. It is a pollution free. Solar energy is used for photosynthesis by plants. It is used to run many devices. It is used for cooking, drying agro products, etc. Now, the demerits of solar energy. Cloudiness influences the harnessing of solar energy to produce heat and some heat at some extent. Next one source of energy is wind energy or wind power. Wind energy has been used for centuries. It is used to run ships, mills, and pump water. The strength of wind is greatest in coastal areas and mountainous areas. The high wind velocity and rough weather are the best conditions to obtain wind power. The high speed wind has a lot of energy in them as kinetic energy due to motion. Wind energy is harvested by making use of windmills. The blades of the windmill keep on rotating continuously due to the force of a striking wind. The rotational motion of the blades drives a number of machines like water pump, floor mills, electrical generators, etc. The wind energy at a particular site depends on velocity, direction, and duration of blowing wind. A large number of windmills installed to clusters called wind farms, which produce a large amount of electricity. The maximum wind speed required for working of a wind generator is 15 km per hour. Merits and demerits of wind energy are like this. First, merits of wind energy. It does not cause pollution. After initial installation cost, it is cheap. The demerit of wind energy is every site is not favorable to install windmill. Sometimes there is a problem of wind speed. Then another source of uh, energy resource is hydropower. The water flowing in a river is collected by constructing dam where the water is stored and allowed to fall from a height. The blades of turbine located at the bottom of the dam move with the fast moving water, which in turn rotate the generator and produces electricity. Favorable geographical conditions for the generation of hydel power are sufficient rainfall, continuous supply of water, natural falls require low cost, mountainous regions are more suitable. The merits and demerits of hydel power are first, the merits of hydel power are it does not pollute the environment. It can be transmitted to long distances through cables. Hydropower is a renewable resource. Hydropower projects help to control flood. However, it has certain disadvantages. Then next source of energy is tidal energy. Ocean or sea tides are produced by gravitational force of sun and moon certain enormous amount of energy. The high tide and low tide refer to the rise and fall of water in the oceans. This is called tidal energy. A difference of several meters is required between the height of high and low tide to spin the turbines. The tidal energy can be harnessed by constructing tidal barrage. During the high tides, the sea water flows into the barrage and turns the turbine, which produces electricity by rotating the generators. During the low tide, the sea water stored in the barrage reservoir flows out into the sea and again turns the turbines. Then biomass energy. Biomass is the organic matter produced by the plants and animals, which include wood, cattle dung, crop residues, manure, sewage, agricultural waste, etc. Biomass energy is of the following types. Energy plantation. Solar energy is trapped by green plants and converted into biomass energy. Then petrocrops. Certain latex containing plants like euphorbias and oil palms can yield and oil-like substance. Agriculture and urban waste biomass. It includes crop residues, coconut shells, etc. Then mineral resources. Mineral are non-renewable natural resources. Mineral resources are valuable commercial resources formed in the earth crust. These resources include copper, aluminium, iron, mercury, nickel, zinc, cobalt, uranium, silver, gold, and other metals like mica, clay, etc. These resources required millions of years for their creation through geochemical cycles. Minerals are defined as naturally occurring inorganic crystalline solids having a definite chemical composition and characteristics physical properties. Minerals are used in many activities like agriculture, industrial, domestic, commercial, etc. Impact of mineral extraction and use on environment. Mineral extraction causes several environmental problems due to extensive and intensive mining activities. Mining and drilling deface the land. Extraction and processing of minerals create environmental problems. Remedial measures for the same are to minimize the adverse impact of mining, to adopt eco-friendly mining technology. The wasted material must be collected and then after remelting and processing, it should be turned into new product. Next point is environmental education. The UNESCO and the UNDP launched the International Program in Environmental Education in January 1975. In 1980, Tiwari Committee gave guidelines and the country has accepted the need for environmental education. Since people themselves are renewable resources base, they are to be trained so that they could help to restore environment. People recognize the urgent need for environmental education. So the environmental science subject will be introduced to all the levels of education for new approaches of environment. It includes both formal and non-formal education. In the formal education, four distinct components are recognized. These are awareness, real life situation, conservation, and sustainable development. The formal education sector, including primary, lower secondary, higher secondary, college, and higher university levels. The non-formal education, including youth and adults, individually or collectively from all segments of population, such as family, workers, tribals, forest dwellers, public representatives, administrators, officers, etc. There are several government and non-government organizations to educate people and to generate awareness towards environment. Environmental education increases public awareness and knowledge of environmental issues and challenges. The government or any organization at its own level cannot achieve the goals of sustainable development unless and until the participation of the public is possible. And it is possible only after the awareness of environmental issues among the people. There are some burning environmental issues like population growth, urbanization, soil erosion, pollution, global warming, ozone depletion, climate change, effect of greenhouse gases, etc. It is possible to control all these burning problems only when the awareness about it developed individually. Many environmental problems can be controlled by adopting the controlling measures. If people are aware about the environmental issues, the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development held in Rio de Janeiro in 1992 and popularly known as Earth Summit, followed by the World Summit on Sustainable Development at Johannesburg in 2002, have highlighted the key issue of global environmental concern and have attracted the attention of general public towards the deteriorating in environment. The subsequent intergovernmental conference on environmental education were held. Awareness, knowledge, attitudes, skills, education ability, and participation. To control the environmental problems, make the people environmentally educated, and to understand the basic principles of ecology. Thank you.